Someone has a question? Olivia? All right. Maybe it was there before. Okay. So we have that now. Okay. So we have this example. So that's really what subtraction, what you have to do. It's not terrible, but again, you have an extra step you have to take. You do have to distribute that minus sign. Okay. Well, just like we added polynomials horizontally and vertically, we can subtract them as well. So now we're going to do that same, I think it's the same problem. Yeah, the same problem, but now we're going to use the vertical method. It's really the same idea. You know, it's just going to be more visual. At least I think it is. So, so let's consider that. So here's what we're going to do. This is what we're calculating, right? Again, we don't have a choice which our first polynomial is, or the one on top, so to say. This has to go on top. Okay? Okay, so each term gets its own column. I know some steps I'm skipping here, mostly to save time, but this would get its own column. Okay? This would be in its own column, right? And 1 would be in its own column. Okay, and now again, we do the same thing, but now we put the terms of this polynomial. We handle these terms now. 7x to the 4, right? That's going to be in its own column here. Okay? I mean, if we were in class face-to-face, I would be drawing this out and showing a few more steps, but I really hope everyone's understanding what I'm trying to show here. We have 7x to the 4. That goes in its own column. So you can imagine me drawing another column in front of this one. We have 4x cubed. Well, we have a cube term, so that goes here. Minus 2x squared. That goes in the x squared term. So minus x, again, we would have to put a minus x here. 1 would have to go here, right? That goes in this column. And we have zeros here as placeholders, okay? So again, let me just quickly fix it. So for this one, we have 0 x to the 4, right? This would be 0 times x. You know, those would be placeholders. Okay? Good. Now we want to subtract, but again, what we do next is we're going to distribute this minus sign. Okay? We're going to distribute now this minus sign. And that's what I did here, right? If you go back to the previous slide and look, we distribute the minus here. That becomes minus 7. Okay? We distribute the minus that was here. That's how we got this minus. See? Oh, sorry. Minus becomes plus. Minus here. Wait. There was a minus here. Excuse me. Now it becomes plus. And now this becomes minus. And when you distribute the minus this way, this is going to become addition. Now we're ready to combine these. And when we do, we get this. So now that's what's happening. Okay, did that make sense? Yeah, I really hope it did. I think we should probably do another one. Let's do that. Yeah? Do I have a question? Oh, okay, good. Okay. I thought someone had a question, but it was the chat, so okay. Let's do another one then. We're going to add these two together. So again, what I'm going to use is the vertical method. And again, what I'm doing here is since we're adding, I'm taking this polynomial to be the one on top. Since we're adding, that's okay. So we have x to the 6th. That goes in its own column. Make a column for that. There's no x to the 5th term here, so I'm going to put 0 or 0x to the 5th. You know, either one that makes sense. X to the 4, that gets its own column also. And x cubed, x squared, x, and 5. They, you know, the constant, right? They each get their own column. Okay, now for this one here, right? This polynomial, we're going to put the terms in the columns that have their like terms. In other words, like terms are going to be in the same column, going to be in the same column. And that's what we do here, right? 8x to the 5th goes in here. 9x to the 4, that's going to go in here, right? Right, because these are like terms. Again, this one here, let me write it again. This was 0 x to the 5th. Okay. And then we have x to the 4. That's 9x to the 4 goes in there. Right? There's no x cubed term here, so we could put 0 here as a placeholder. Or 0x cubed, either one, that's fine. Minus 6x squared. That's going to go here. And there's no x term, right? So we're going to put that 0 here as a placeholder. Then we have minus 1. Okay? And then what we do next is we subtract. Excuse me, we add. Not subtract. Okay? Okay. So x to the 6 plus 0, that's x to the 6, right? Okay. You know, we basically just add, in other words, right? Like we're doing. Again, like terms, you add, you combine coefficients. So there's a 1 here. So 1 plus 9 becomes 10. X to the cube plus 0 becomes x cubed. We have 3x squared plus minus 6x squared. That's minus 3x squared. 2x plus 0 is 2x. 5 plus negative 1 is 4. Okay, good. And finally, we get to this. Basically, again, we're just writing our answer now in standard form. Okay? Just writing our answer in standard form. Okay, I think that might be, yeah, it might be all I have there. Let me just get the other set of notes. It's here. Okay. Okay, I was going to do this, but I didn't get a chance to go through the next set of notes yet, and I really don't want to go through them until, I don't want to present them until I go through them to make sure everything's right. So I guess we may have to end now, but I guess that's okay. Are there any other questions?